Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in Chronicles of Darkness, Vampire Requiem, a requiem for London. It is a much more somber evening than was initially expected. The first night of this Elysium was one of paranoia and cloak and daggers, was still very much in Elysium, where kindred could feel safe and secure and could socialize with those outside their circles without fear of punishment, violence, or reprisals. This is no longer the case. The domain has been infiltrated. Kindred are being taken and possessed. And the princedom is perhaps facing the largest scandal in its fairly recent history. Being accused of hiding the presence of the Strix from citizens of the domain. A very heavy accusation. As such, there are significantly fewer kindred at this Elysium. There are still many, but there is a noticeable downtick. Many kindred are either leaving the city entirely, some no longer feel secure in Elysium, others simply don't trust the princedom at all. And others are just using it as an excuse to lash out against political rivals like the Keeper, the Carthians, or Princeton. There are still some key faces, though. Many of you recognize the princes here. He has not shied away from the accusations he's faced. A surprise to many, given how under the table he is being increasingly viewed to be. There is, of course, the newcomer to the domain, whose name has gotten around enough that now most people within Elysium know it. Constantine. Apparently a maquette, a very old one. There is a Keeper, and a great amount of kindred of the Circle of the Crown. No shortage of them, in fact. They litter the place. To the sanctified, maybe like lice. To others, a reassuring presence. And those that walk into the building do note, or that are present within Elysium, do note that the ceiling, the formerly now the smashed ceiling windows, have been covered up, not repaired. It's only been a night. But there is a very large circle that painted in vitae that appears to line the entirety of the dome of the concert hall. And it gives a very slight but ominous glow. Those that enter also required to submit to the touch of the Keeper before entering. What she does is that she has a blood-stained hand. What she does is that she presses it against your chest. And if nothing happens, she leaves you be. If something happens, well, You think you can put two and two together? That is generally the current state of the Elysium. What is coming up this evening, what should have been a triumphant sort of closing ceremony or ending performance to the night, was going to be that of Alina Zuayas, a violinist and a child of one of the Primogen. But you're all left to socialize amongst yourselves. You still see a lot of faces for you to interact with, many familiar people. A lot of people are taking seats, getting ready for the performance.
All right. I guess I'll go first. As Nikolai walks in, he'll scan the room. If he sees Goodman, he's going to go over to him and tap the man on the shoulder and gesture towards a more private room.
Well, nod, recognizing Nikolai and falling into this particular room.
Listen, I'm going to make this real quick. Didn't mention it before because we had some outside ears, if you know what I mean. But I think I found a little bit more information on your bug problem. It's called a sanguine ergry. It's roughly translated to a blood wraith or blood bane. They're spirits that tend to manifest where there's a lot of vampiric activity. They're actually kind of common. Anyways, I think I know how to kill them or at least drive it off, but I'm going to need some help. I need bones from someone who died from famine.
There's a place I plan on checking out. They might have something like that.
All right. If you get me these bones, we probably can craft weapons and wards from them.
So it'll be done.
Thanks. And I'm going to head back out and go. But if you need any help picking up these bones, just let me know.
I'll do so. As he lets Nikolai move first out of the room, then follows a few moments after. Goodman's eyes kind of scan around the room, noticing the obvious tension in the air.
You see your sire. She is out and about, taking notes from her various social interactions, as always.
When his eyes kind of see her, he nods and
You notice people are giving her very weird looks and are staying away from her. Given the nature of her eyes, people are extremely cautious around her, and many people are just not talking to her. But she finds rather rude, really.
Indeed so. She's had those forever. I don't know what you guys are talking about. As long as nobody's making any overt actions, he's not going to directly interact with her right now. Let her have her space like she normally does.
Trio of chuckle fucks, let us chuckle fuck our way forward. on a side note, we are apparently now the trio of chuckle fucks. This is how life works.
Good job.
Chuckle, fuck you.
I mean, probably. So yeah, Joshua and Co will sidle or locomote into the room. He looks down at the bloody hand that's about to get pressed to his chest, and he just holds up something that's wrapped that's wrapped in black cloth, and he's just like, I think that you'll find that I would rather not be touched.
You had the audacity to use blood sorcery within my Elysiums. I think you can handle a prod to the chest.
Audacity, that's an interesting turn of phrase. But he looks her up and down and smiles. He says, you know that your method is flawed.
She's not going to answer that and just places her hand on your chest and nothing will happen. Although you do feel a little bit strange when she touches you. It's it's a slightly, you feel very floaty for about a second, and then it fades. It doesn't last at all, and it fades about as quickly as you have time to react. But she takes her hand off you and
you can see he will. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's once again. This is going to be the night of YOLO. He reaches up and just dusts the outfit where he was touched. Like, ew. Filthy Kruak witch.
her eyes flatten. In stark contrast to a lot of keepers, she's not pretending to have a smile on her face. She is very much the vigilant guardian right now. She's not pretending to be happy. She is very alert. Quite still, actually. She's not taking a lot of humane movements. Not a ton of old habits and twitches that a human would normally possess. She seems to have lost a few of those. Now that she seems to be on alert. But her face is still quite bright. Still colourful, still has a life in it.
I can respect the fact that your particular organization and ours, he will say, he taps himself on the chest with his cane, and he then denotes Farthingdale, who's standing off next to him, are not exactly the greatest fans of one another. However, as it pertains this particular threat, it may be best for us to put aside moral differences, I think, and share information.
I'm in agreement on this matter.
Not now, obviously, that would be too, well, on the nose, but he'll take out a business card and he'll hold it out in his clenched fingers to, and he'll say, we can have a meeting at some point in the near future.
When Joshua holds out the business card, Farthingdale will just pull out a small foam rubber nose. Little red ball nose. He'll offer that to you.
She takes it and holds it.
On the nose.
Blankly. The nose.
Sorry, that was funny.
He is a clown by profession.
She'll give you the slightest of smiles. Oh dear, Marcus is here. But continuing on. she will inspect you because she'll keep the nose. She likes it. But she isn't going to be remiss in her duty. She will place her bloodied hand against yours. The blood has become quite dry, but it still seems to have its intended effect. You're not affected, and she allows you in. Security is quite heavy here. Yes. And you're able to walk in. You see many faces among the Lancashire, and you see a colleague of yours, Mr. Farthingdale.
Which one?
A fellow member of the Sanctified, and of your clan, in fact.
Curious blinking.
And suffers a fairly severe form of your clan's deformities. It is mismarked. Ranking member of the Sanctified, but of no particular sect of it. In that sense, she's somewhat like you. Rank and file, just doing their job, trying to climb the ladder to heaven, as it were. She looks at you. She does not have Yora. She's quite talented in obfuscating. Does not have her mask on right now. She currently looks like this with her mask off.
Yeah.
Extremely large gashes across her face and even her eyelids. Gnarled, jaw-like teeth. The gashes go all the way down to her neck. Her dress is quite baroque, but also serves to cover up the vast majority of her body. You notice she's also wearing gloves.
But no bonnet or veil.
No.
Do I
Perhaps
actually
she
know
is
her,
allowing-
Bishop?
Pardon?
Do I actually know her or no?
Yeah, you know her. You're sort of casual acquaintances. You might even say you're friends in a vague sense, but you don't know each other that well. This is sort of you've worked several jobs together. You had to help get a testament of Longinus back when it somehow made its way outside one of the local temples and fell into the hands of a local library. That was a clusterfuck. And you helped her with that. And she remembered the favor.
Rightio.
You scared much of the most of the local librarians while she made off with the book.
Ooga
She
booga
appreciates- Yes, yes. She just walk up to you and the sanctified posse, as it were.
Let us go be with our posse.
But Isabella, you're gonna get touched by a crone. Am I the only one that can't hear Isabella? Can't hear
No, I can't hear either.
Oh.
Either.
Hear me now? Fuck.
Oh, there we go. I heard you
Can you hear me
swear. Yes,
that's the key apparently.
yes.
Yes, saying fuck is always the key. Continue.
All right. You're about to get poked by a crone.
All right, that's fine. How's that work exactly? I'm gonna ask her just straight up. How's that work?
It is an advanced trade secret of my covenant.
I'm just curious. What's it do?
Exercise you.
Mine works in an AoE.
You're pretty, Joshua. Shut up. Found anyone yet?
No, we've taken a lot of measures. This is just one among several.
Hmm.
Elysium should be safe.
Oh, good luck with that.
Thank you. I wish you luck in case it is not.
Thanks. Can I go? Am I good? Am I not possessed?
You have passed the metal detector test, yes.
Great. Well, have a good night. Happy hunting.
If only I were hunting. Make your way in.
Mm-hmm.
See a lot of Ordo. You see this lady. Her name is Miss Fissel. She is a member of the Ordo. Been around for some time in London. She's recognizable by her distinct reddish eyes that are distinctly unnatural, which seems to be causing her no amount of social embarrassment this evening, as people clearly don't trust the color of her eyes at all. Wary as to whether or not Astrix has made its way into the building in spite of its own defenses. She'll find it quite bothersome and rude. And then there is, of course, Constantine.
Kind of give him a nod, but I won't approach him unless he seems like he wants to talk to me.
I need to apologize to that man for blinding him, which means Izzy is going to be used as my body shield.
Great. Are you telling me that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. Fine. In that case, I guess I am going to approach him. With Joshua hiding behind me.
Yep.
He eyes you both.
Evening.
Good evening. I'm led to understand, Master Constantine, I may owe you an apology.
I am sensitive to bright lights. Normally it is no bother, but your display surprised me.
It was intended to surprise everyone.
I am tempted to argue it cost me my opportunity to slay both of the elves that resided within this building, but the situation worked out. One for two is far better odds than most when dealing with these monsters.
Any idea where the other one went?
Due to the sudden outburst of light, I was unable to track it.
Do you know if anyone else did?
I'm currently trying to find that out, but nobody here, nobody present seems to have gone to the trouble. Not to say that I blame them. No one wants to hunt these things or go looking for them.
Is even Nikolai's going to walk up at this moment? Is it even possible to track them through money?
Anything can be tracked. It just depends on if you're happy for them to look back at you when you're looking at them.
Yes,
This
very
is
much
true,
likely this.
I suppose. Fortunately, many of us do not have the capability to do such things either. Though I may have something that might interest you, Mr. Constantine.
He raises
But-
an eyebrow.
I will show you it later. This is
Oh,
not a good place.
what is it?
Hmm?
What is it?
The video I took.
There was a video?
Marcus seemed aware of it. I figured you all spotted the camera.
Which one? Context.
Oh. Joshua does a little kind of mental recalibration in his head as he contemplates something. And then he looks at Nikolai and he says, I wouldn't... Oh, crap. He'll say... Actually, no. He won't say anything. He'll just lean on his cane as he contemplates, because that's a complication he did not need in his universe.
Would you relax? I haven't actually watched it. I figured I would just give it our good. I'm going to look at the Archon and say, I have not watched the video. Which is true, because I have not gotten a blue book. However, I figured the information could be useful to our hunter here. I plan on giving him the only copy and deleting it. I have no desire to get in trouble with this city.
You will present the vid. Is Joshua going to be direct? Yes. He will say, as the Archon of the Prince, you will present the only copy of the video to me. You will not watch it. Am I understood, Mr. Nikolai?
Sure.
He nods. Very good. From a purely out of character basis, I'll explain his logic, because I don't want to feel like I'm effing over another PC.
Well, no.
Because it shows Prince Valerius, and it shows some other people using powers that maybe they shouldn't have. And not only that, shows the fact that Valerius was here secretly monitoring the prince. It might put people in a very dangerous situation if they possess that knowledge.
But Valerius wasn't at the hall. He was literally seen walking in as everybody was fleeing, to be fair.
Yeah.
So he wasn't actually present until at least several hours into the Elysium.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm saying that suggests to me he was here on scene and entered the hall when he felt like he needed to.
Perhaps.
So that's why he's saying, no, give me the tape so Nikolai doesn't get sent to the wood chipper. Very good. I will have it noted, your service to the princedom.
Shrugs.
Constantine simply looks sort of between Nikolai and Joshua.
Sorry, I guess you'll have to take it up with them about observing this video.
I suppose I will. Isabella,
Hello. Hello.
you are undamaged from last night's events.
I wasn't here.
I am.
Had to see a guy about a hippo.
Have you heard?
Yeah.
One of many.
I guess the secret's out.
A very sad evening for the prince.
Were you even aware of the secret?
Me? Yes.
She has been more aware than most.
All
I'm
right.
surprised you did not know that. Our clan generally is better informed.
I mean, I spent the last couple of weeks thinking I was about to be killed, so
That is generally a good indicator that you know something of relevance.
Glances towards the ringmaster and goes, noted.
Joshua raises an eyebrow. It was Madam Isabella who informed. It was Dr. Isabella who informed me of the situation.
I see.
I knew the more people that knew about it, the more trouble we'd be in. I guess I didn't realize that other people had been experiencing it as well.
But it would appear it is a secret no longer. I doubt for Princeton can contain this, though it'd be unwise to try. It is in the interest of all to cooperate in seeing these creatures destroyed.
And now that it's out, might as well use it to an advantage, in my opinion.
We will see if the city treats it as such and utilizes it to that degree. Given the secrets that have already been kept, I'm somewhat doubtful. But we will see. Marcus, when you enter the Elysium, Constantine immediately looks at you, calls you over. Use my sword. You're muted, Marcus. Jason? 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 Jason?
Now you're doing what I do.
John. John.
It's understandable that the Wooloo would seek to emulate the Dubwool.
Yes. It just tackles gates. It's practicing. Oh. Oh, he dropped. That was weird. Maybe he's trying to come back. Well, in any case. Miss Marks will also approach the group. She'll bow before you all, but more specifically before Mr. Bainforth.
Are
You
you
know
quite-
this lady.
Are you quite well, sister?
As much as recent events and these cuts would suggest otherwise, quite well. She speaks quite fluently, largely in spite of her jaw. You know that she's sort of going out of her way to speak in such a fashion. You imagine she
I'm
would
pleased to
speak
hear it.
quite. She would sound quite gravelly if she was just speaking normally.
Sorry.
It is my most fervent belief that the Lord sends tests to us. This is merely one of those tests.
This world I see to be a trial. We are the ones who decide those that pass and those that fail. The irredeemable are left broken to purgatory. The redeemable are sent onwards to their just reward. Or join us in our vigilance.
It is on that area of doctrine, I believe, that you and I differ slightly. I believe the only ones who are irredeemable are those whom refuse to accept redemption.
That is interesting. More neo-reformist than I would have expected from you. She doesn't say that with a hint of anger or disdain. She just states it as a matter of fact.
Did you expect me to be more orthodox?
From what I have heard of you, but perhaps the rumors do not do you justice. It appears very much so. I should have a word with Miss Bramo about that.
I find that we all dance upon the strings that we are set to by our wagging tongues.
You are not wrong. Around while you're having this conversation, another figure will approach, leading to quite a sizable audience between all of you. Jean-Marc Bolvin, you know him as the proprietor of this establishment, which is no small feat considering the Royal Albert Hall is quite it's quite the building, really. It would not be hard to access, control, or administrate to this place. So it does suggest a fair degree of power from the man, but
as he approaches, I'm going to give him a slight bow, like of gratitude, sort of.
have to put on a crappy French accent.
You did this.
I did this to myself. I played myself.
Checkmate, self.
Bonsoir, my friends. My apologies for the roof and the tattered paintwork.
On the contrary, it
Necessary
is I who feel. I was going to say it's I who feel I should apologize to you.
Well, and what would an Archon have to apologize for in the line of duty?
Joshua shrugs before he'll say, "This is the Royal Albert Hall, yeah?
Yeah.
The Royal Albert Hall is a venue, isn't it? It's a theater.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is a large concert hall in South Kensington.
He'll say, I tell you what, as a means of bygones being bygones and letting water flow under the bridge, because I wouldn't want to see anyone out of pocket or having insurance premiums go up, etc. These times are unfortunately so financially minded. How about we book a show here and you can keep whatever the proceeds are? It might sure to see to the roof and a new paint job.
You are an honourable gentleman. I am quite well accounted for, but I do appreciate your gesture, and I would be happy to accept. I've heard good things from your Cirque du Macabre, as it is called.
Even though some people won't let me get another hippo. Glare.
We already got the one.
He's lonely.
You monster.
Don't start.
Only one hippo?
See, I'm gonna call my guy.
The stage could take two.
I mean, all we have to do is call Jose. He said he could get us an excellent deal.
I don't think Jose has any hippos. I think Jose is just some guy you called by accident and has been humoring you.
Constantine mentally checks out and walks away.
That's not fair.
But hippos.
Look, Jose said you could get another one. Clearly, you can get another one.
See, the man is speaking sense.
In any case, hippo or no hippo, you're more than welcome to perform here. I will send you the necessary paperwork.
Wonderful. If you can send them to my agent, he will take out a business card. He basically tells me when and where I have to pull a rabbit out of my hat. So he'll set the dates and we'll set something up.
It is the least we can do after you freed one of our own from those abominable creatures.
Bishop, can I ask, when I banished them out, were the kindred still okay? Or did they die?
No, they're okay. You don't actually know what happens when someone is exorcised. This is probably, you've maybe been around for like a couple of exorcisms, and bodies have been in varying states afterwards. So it kind of depends on the spirit and what they do to them, I guess.
Do you happen to know if Mr. Stainforth is going to be in attendance this evening?
Yes. I believe he shall be. He did note that he would not miss this event and would not allow the events of prior evening to deter him from attending.
So one of the people who was exorcised was a Carthy and the other was Invictus. They were the two, weren't they?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't know if there may have been more. You don't know how foolproof your ritual is.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the mechanics aren't really, they're roll dice in real life, so you're not sure if you got all of them or not. Probably,
Maybe. Who knows?
but maybe not. So it's a case of you know it works, you're just not sure to what extent. But yeah, certainly certainly saved the evening for a lot of people. The doors close and the keeper enters. It appears she's not accepting any further guests for the evening. She and Jean both nod to each other as if this is an expected course of action. She actually takes a seat. But yes, I believe Mr. Stanford, actually he won't say Mr., he'll say Speaker Stanford actually wished to speak with you and thank you publicly.
I also need to have a few brief words with him. I would like to interview the individual whom was wrested from the control. Obviously, it was a very traumatic experience, and I wish to make sure that there are no lingering after effects.
I believe she's currently in the custody of Mr. Stanford's
I'll speak to him about it.
as a staffmate, yes. But I'm sure he would be happy to provide you an interview with the affected individual.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange. Whenever you seem to mention that subject matter, Constantine just seems to slink back into the circle of the conversation.
God damn it! It's
He
like
doesn't
getting
really-
closer, getting
he doesn't
closer.
Really, yeah. He sort of wanders off, but he seems to have his eye on you and the group, and Isabella in particular, actually. But yes,
Isabel made a friend.
Or something.
Come here.
I must say I'm looking forward to this performance.
I'll have to secure a ticket for myself.
I think if you get in, you already have a ticket.
Yeah, we're actually here to listen to a concert, basically.
Yes. You do notice these three individuals are in the building. Just
Oh, God almighty.
While you're speaking, they're very much present and speaking within their own respective circles. Jason's only recently arrived. He was one of the last to arrive before the keeper shut before she shut the doors.
Who the crap is speaking to former Prince Valeria? Who has the balls to speak to that entity?
Well, that's actually, it's good that you ask. It is is this lovely young lady who is speaking with him.
Claire.
Mm.
There is also this lady as well. And
Wait, is that Bridget?
no,
That's not Bridget. No.
that's not Bridget. Another face claim for this individual. Actually, this is her Elysium face claim, which is way better. But yes, and let me find it real quick. This individual, you understand to be one of a primogen, and actually the sire of the kindred performing this evening.
Bishop, let's go commit suicide.
What?
That's what I call talking to Valerius, committing suicide.
Oh.
I'm going with him because I need to go greet my sire.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Does anybody actually want to make a quick wit socialize roll real quick? Or politics, whichever is your highest.
Fuck it, why not?
Sure, I'll fail at this, but who knows? Maybe I won't.
I have a success. A mighty success.
God damn you, social people.
God damn you all.
I have a success.
Okay. For those who
Two
succeeded,
successes.
the room is oddly centered around these individuals, socially speaking. There are outliers. Yeah, particularly the Ordo, the leader of the Ordo and those who she speaks with, and your sire, Julian, appear to be outside of this, but it's a very strange way the way conversations and gossip seems to filter around the room. About half of it seems to be based on these individuals. All social circles, if they're not talking about what you've been discussing, they're discussing these three, and it's almost as if people are falling into these three camps around them, as if there's this divide between the three of them politically.
Interesting.
As if the city is breaking into three parts right in front of you.
Can we tell which part is going to which? There's the Ordo,
if I were to give names, you'd need an exceptional success.
Alright.
But there are growing divisions forming, it appears, within the city. It should be noted these three individuals are not speaking of each other. It just seems to be the way the sort of political discussion has taken over the room. People seem to react to these figures most strongly, almost like their political focal points, which makes sense. They all run. I mean, well, one of them is the prince, the other one is a very old kindred and a former prince, and the other one is the leader of an entire covenant and the main opposition to the ruling establishment. So it's not entirely unexpected, it makes sense.
But,
Makes sense that these
yes.
individuals, yes.
When we approach, we do the very respectful. We give the seneschal a respectful bow before we do the going down on one knee thing and waiting until Valerius opts to tell me to stand up.
Okay. Second. I'll
Actually, you know what? I'm going to be a cunt. Can I ask to do a showmanship roll to make the bow very fancy?
Etiquette is generally perceived as socialize. So you need to make a socialize roll, but you can make a socialize roll to look to look all polite and stuff.
Yeah.
This would be an etiquette check. So if you have specialty in etiquette, then it definitely apply here.
Can I add my status to this?
Yeah, social roll, yeah. Yeah, you roll your city status. He's of the city. Should be noted, city status does not apply to Constantine as he is an outsider.
I have 2 of the successes with a spent willpower.
Yeah, you take the knee. You go through the motions with elegance, and grace. He deigns to register you. His body shifts. It is lumbering and slow and calculated. And you don't feel the same sense of overwhelm. Actually, no, you don't remember that. It doesn't matter. Oh no, you do remember that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he was. No, you don't. You don't feel the same. Feel the same sense of being overwhelmed that you did before. But his beast is much closer to his chest, as it were. It is not flooding out from him like a wave. It stays close to him.
He waits until he's spoken to first before he'll speak, because that is polite.
Thank you for your time, Notary Primogen. If I may be forgiven, I believe these two wish to have a word with me. Seneschal, if I might implore you to stay. To which she says nothing and stays there. The other two, however, do depart. They don't. They both seem to react slightly differently to him. The Primogen bows and is simply on her way, as if it was just another social encounter, as if she was just having another conversation and doing business with another kindred of London. The notary is more formal and more polite, and like yourself, shows a bit more grace, and will leave, leaving but Nikolai and Joshua and a seneschal.
If you want to talk to your sire, by all means, you can go ahead, Nikolai.
All right. I'm just going to turn and go. I just came to pay my respects to the center soul. As I nod to her. Forgive me for interrupting your conversation.
It is quite all right. The seneschal and I were simply discussing matters of sect and house.
Let me see. Well, even so,
would not wish to interfere with a reunion between sire and child.
Nikolai kind of winces at that. I suppose the secret's out of the bag.
His expression doesn't really change. He just looks at your sire, and she will take a step forward and She'll say, "Yes. Good evening, Nikolai. How are you? How are you finding yourself?"
I'm alright. I've been quite busy with order matters, but after the... I did not see you after the abrupt dismissal last night, and I want to make sure assure you of my health and make sure you were okay.
I'd look to do the same. It was a battle I was ill-equipped nor qualified to fight, so I did not.
I was very much in the same boat. Though I've heard from Marcus some spectacular things have took place there.
Perhaps you should regale the tale to me.
Bruh.
It would be a refreshing change of pace from one night ago.
Yes. Glances at both the ringmaster and former prince before he basically says, "Well, I cannot speak directly. And I'm sure the ringmaster can interject in parts that I get wrong. From my understanding, we owe our thanks to both Mr. Irons over there," and gestures towards Marcus Irons, as well as these three, and I forget their names already. The prince, the former prince, and whoever the other guy is. Marcus was able to use the blade to apparently pin one of the creatures to the wall. And then apparently fire was used somehow to engulf the creature.
You can actually hear Joshua give a slight, "Oh, why did you have to say that?" exhale, like.
I assume some sort of blood magic or something was in play. Out of character, I'm just going to point out that there has been known times that a Twilight Judge has taught others, other people, coils. It's not unheard of.
Well, it is very, very rare.
It's very, very rare, but it's not like...
There are recorded accounts of it in history, but it's hardly a common event.
Yeah. I didn't say who used the fire. I didn't say how they used the fire.
Well, you said there's blood source involved, but that's neither here nor there.
But that's wrong.
Being a scholar on the kindred condition, I'm sure you are more educated than I.
Gives a small shrug. I find it's best not to pry into these sorts of things, though. Gets one in trouble with the local law enforcement.
His eyes stare down at you. Looks directly at you for a moment. Still the same expression on his face.
How tall is he?
He's actually quite tall.
Yeah.
Everybody stares down at Nikolai.
Yeah, that's true. The
Nicola.
laws within this domain are strict, yet oddly defined. It is not hard to imagine one such as yourself finding themselves in trouble whether they wish to or not as a result.
Yes. Only been here a month and I'm finding I really must get more familiar with the laws of this particular domain. There seems to be loopholes and catch-alls all over the place.
That's mostly life.
And rules. And how can someone follow the laws if they don't know what the laws are?
A worthy question. Perhaps you should ask the prince.
I'm so tempted to say perhaps we are, but I don't want to open that particular kettle of fish.
Perhaps someone should, but clearly, perhaps best not be someone of such lowly standing as me.
Such standing does not seem to influence the Carthian movement one way or the other.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not a Carthian.
Is it?
Given their current run of bad luck. I always say make friends, not war.
If I may, Prince Valerius, may I have but a few moments of your time? There's a query I wish to pose to you in private.
I do wish to speak with you in private, yes.
Thank you, my lord. He will stand. For the record, he's been knelt on the ground with his head down for this entire time, so he'll stand up now.
He will tap his cane, his potorial aura will flare as if informing everybody that is not Joshua to fuck off immediately.
Fucking off it is.
Run away!
Yeah,
He
I'm gonna
doesn't
go ahead and
actually
do that.
deign to look at
Inching
anybody, but the
further
intent
away,
is obvious.
but inching further away, but still trying his best and failing not to stare at this mighty and powerful kindred from a very respectful distance.
He looks at you distantly for but the briefest of moments. You can feel a certain intent in the back of your head stir when he does.
Notes it, but will try his best to remain straight. And
You feel...
remember that.
You feel as if you need to go somewhere with Isabella, but you're not sure why. But
When the prince leaves, Goodman will begin to move over to Marcus, and just simply ask. And
the prince was never around Marcus.
Oh, sorry, that was my bad. Then the Goodman will just move over next to Marcus, and take notice that the prince is noticing him, and just simply asks, "Are you still in trouble?"
By the way, that's the former prince, not the prince.
No, sorry.
Actually, some people can roll me intelligence politics about Valerius if they want. None of you are of the Invictus, so it's -3 dice penalty because this is fairly obscure and not well known.
Spending a willpower.
I was going to say, is this the information that we've already gotten? Because I think I've already had to do this roll.
I think it might include more information in the roll you made.
Okay.
very older and passed around by the harpies once.
Nope.
Unfortunate.
2 successes, and that is with the deductions taken, which were fed
Okay.
by the willpower.
Okay, you heard from a guy, from another guy, from another guy. Some very outdated information. You've heard that supposedly, so it is said, that Valeris never actually entered torpor at any point during his requiem. A rumor that was very quickly put to bed because such an idea is ludicrous in the extreme. Nobody can remain awake for that long. They would go insane, or they would grow too tired to continue.
So Marcus will just very quietly relay that information to Mr. Goodman.
As a scholar of a kindred condition, Julian, you understand that to be an absolutely insane proposition that makes no sense.
Unless he designed a coil to allow him to stay awake longer, which of course the response to that is, why would you want that?
You understand? You know that Torpor's been a topic of research for the kindred of the Ordo for some time. It's just another limitation of the kindred condition to be overcome. You hear rumors circulate every now and again of a coil surrounding torpor, but you've never seen it. You know of nobody who's ever studied it. You know of people who research torpor, but never a coil being discovered. But yeah, remaining awake for that long isn't a thing. Like, nothing is that willful. It's like close to a biological impossibility for kindred.
What about the cases of the few that reach some of the highest levels of humanity?
They remain in torpor for less time, but they still go to torpor. If a kindred were to remain awake for that long, and that's a very big if, they would either have to be extremely willful, and I mean in the extreme. And even then, that's no guarantee anything. The will only goes so far. If everything was solved by will, the Ordo wouldn't need to exist. Or there would have to be some other mechanism in place. Like a rumored coil or a scale or something that keeps the kindred going. But what that is, well, could be anything.
Maybe we'll take note of that, and say, well, unless that becomes a problem, I'm not going to worry about it too much.
Shouldn't be. And then he snaps into action, grabs his notebook, rips out a piece of paper, writes something on it, folds it, and gives it to Julian.
He'll take it and kind of just flip it through his fingers to show what's written to him.
It will say in plain English, I have got this weird urge to go somewhere and I don't know where. If my eyes glass over, stop me. Thank you.
You won't show any physical confirmation, just kind of flip the paper again and kind of just shove it into one of his pockets.
Marcus will smile at that.
So, I'm curious, my lord, what is it that you wish to speak to me about before I raise my own paltry concerns?
Let me go first.
As you like. I've been noticing the connections between things. They're rather interesting, really. The interplay, the ties that seem to bind the little steps. So, I'm well aware of the fact that it is you who has, or rather, it is my suspicion that it is you who has been giving requests, instructions to our good prince when it is he is making vital decisions. He shrugs. You are connected to Master Stainforth, I would guess possibly his sire, or at least a very close member of your blood. And also, there's one little causality, one little piece of the puzzle that doesn't make sense to me. I met you in the... It's called the Shard, isn't it, Bishop?
Yes.
I met you in the Shard. You rode an elevator with us. Now, that action in and of itself is an entirely wasteful usage of your time, and you are an entity who does not seem to me to waste time. But it seemed very deliberate. You were there, and you were there to speak with us. So there's something about that little engagement that I don't see. And honestly, it's a little bit... I've been struggling to try and find the logic behind it. Because I like when things make sense. And there's something that doesn't make sense about it. You're not a man who has, I sense, unplanned moments.
You are capable, but you presume too much. Age alone does not rule this city. It is not that simplistic. Power is not a blunt instrument. The world has grown more complicated, and with it, so has the application of power. I must admit it is ever so slightly disappointing.
Humanity has... Oops, sorry, continue.
It betrays a weakness in you. But the oldest kindred must be the one ruling. I stopped seeking to rule a long time ago, Mr. Bainforth.
I'm a man who deals in riddles, mysteries, and illusions, my Lord Valerius. I understand the value of holding something in your hand, or of not appearing to hold something in your hand whilst it's already there. That's how I make my living.
You are correct in that there are connections and patterns that have created a trifecta of sorts. And that is very much by design. But the Invictus is not linear. I am curious. I've not been curious in a long time. Why do you approach me with this assumption?
You see, I'm funny in many ways. People respect you because you radiate power. But in the end, you could break me, you could throttle me, you could change my mind so I think I'm a potted plant in Paddington Station. But at the end of the day, I live secure in the fact that I know when I close my eyes to this world, one way or the other, I'm going to open my eyes in God's kingdom. It is more faith. It is more than faith to me. It is a fact. So I'm viewing you now as an individual that I wish to understand, because I've pledged my loyalty to the prince and to the domain. And ultimately, yeah, if needs be, I'll walk into the sunlight for that principle, because I want the domain to stand so that people can live happy, healthy on lives, so that they can have a modicum of peace, or they can have a modicum of whatever the hell it is that they want. And I needed to know. I needed to see, when I asked that question, what the reaction would be. And I needed to see if I placed my faith rightly in something. And ironically, by being proved wrong, or being proved that I'm not serving what is essentially a paper tiger, you've revalidated the faith that I have placed in the concept.
If you valued honor over strength, you would not commit yourself to this prince at all. I am curious as to why you serve a usurper.
Usurper, eh?
He looks down, and for the first time in a while actually looks thoughtful. Many centuries ago, the Invictus was a different beast. It was honorable, knightly. Some would have even called it heroic. It maintained a glimmer of vibrance. This new prince, like all others that have come before them, has failed at the first step. In an ongoing pattern that has lasted the past 1,000 years. The First Estate is treated as nothing more than a vehicle without principle. Misunderstanding the point of the Invictus, not simply as a means to power, but as a means to spread a belief. Something you ought to understand.
But I think you misunderstand me, my lord. I'm not here to serve a usurper. I'm not here necessarily. I've signed my oath with the Invictus, but the reason I swore that oath was because I believe in service to the domain. I believe in the domain, and I will fight to protect those whom are within it till my last breath.
Just as in those that have come before you, they will betray that oath. they will abuse the very honor that you wield in their service. This is what makes them usurpers, not that they wrested control, but that they betrayed that which the unconquered stand for. You are a disposable asset to them. It will remain as such until you must be sacrificed.
As I said, my lord, I'm not afraid to go and meet my God. But if in my time here I can do even a small amount of good, I consider that to be a worthy trade.
You have seen that this princedom does not commit itself to good.
I have.
Firsthand. You have seen how this domain keeps secrets to maintain its power at the cost of its kindred. You have seen how they imprison them under false pretenses, infecting their herds, sterilizing them, breaking them, melding them into new entities at the behest of a certain defiant. A certain defiant dog.
Perhaps things will change.
They will.
You see, I'm in show business, my lord. So do you know what that's taught me in my life? It's taught me to always, always, always read a contract. In many ways, the oath I signed, I'm well aware that from your honored covenant's perspective, it is a hallowed and sacrosancted thing. However, it is still words. It is still an agreement. I'm sure that you'd agree with that statement.
The agreement you signed is a betrayal of my very covenant. It is predictable. There is no other word.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel. I'm sorry that there was such a betrayal.
You need not apologize for anything at all. You and many like you will be the agents of change.
So I'm curious, was I correct in my assessment that Master Stanforth is your child?
You are the first to ever make such an accusation. I would reward you with an answer, yes.
I saw both of you do something that shouldn't happen. Mr. Nikolai can think that was blood sorcery till the cows come home. That was not blood magic that I had ever seen. Unless, and I consider myself to be quite an expert on the topic, there's some kind that I haven't seen. That tends to link people together when they possess strange and unusual powers.
Sometimes kindred simply come to know things. It is not a matter of research or theology or faith or law keeping. Sometimes an individual simply learns. Kindred of age. The Ordo's practices are not novel. They are predated by hundreds that knew of their ways before them.
Well then, if there is nothing more that you require of me, my lord, I'll take my leave.
By all means, take what you have gathered here today and use it to whatever means you wish.
He will bow deeply again before he'll turn on his heel and will leave. Hey, Izzy. Izzy.
Yes.
So what Joshua does is he walks straight back over to wherever you're standing. It doesn't matter who you're standing with. As a matter of fact, he's going to make this as big a show as possible. He turns you around, like, you know, the kind of the whip turnaround.
Uh-huh.
And he does the wonderful thing of puts his foot behind your feet so he can kind of almost trip you back. Because my theory is that he needs to feel some kind of human touch after being like next to what I will refer to as holy sweet. This is what I imagine standing next to Longinus felt like, and he just plants one straight on Izzy. There you go.
Everything okay?
He does that wonderful kind of, he then kind of picks her back up, just like, yeah, everything's better now. Mm-hmm.
Valerius walks out. And he'll re-meet with his chosen circle. And the lights in the concert hall begin to dim slightly, and everybody will be requested to take a seat.
Hey, Izzy, do you want to go be fancy and go and sit up in one of the boxes?
Can we?
I assume so. Aw.
Yeah.
That's so important, Kindred.
I am important.
That's true, you're important.
It's kind of important. Aw, is it get a +1?
Yeah, can I have a +1?
You're not important enough for a +1, apparently.
Okay.
Valerius has ensured your misery for the rest of existence. Good day.
Oh, bad luck and misfortune. We'll infest your pathetic souls.
I was going to say, you know what? No, we're going to be those guys. We're going to have bloody popcorn. And we're going to sit down here with opera glasses.
That's fine.
You can take a one of the high spots if you want. What did you call them again?
Oh, one of the box seats, basically. Yeah,
Box
going
seats,
up to one of the balcony seats.
Yeah.
Because I've been in the Lord Albert, or is the Lord Albert Hall the Great Albert Hall? Great Albert Hall. I've been in it before. It does have balcony seats.
Nice.
The prince sits with us in a circle, but the seneschal sits next to Valerius. The speaker for the Carthians and Miss Grimald sit together. Primogen takes a box seat. The keeper stands vigilant. She does not seat herself. She stands towards the back. She simply watches over events.
Hey, Izzy.
Will join her.
You want one of my minstrels? One of my bag of minstrels? Yeah.
Do you have a bag of minstrels?
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
Whenever you go to the theater, get a bag of minstrels. They're like £6, and they're ridiculously over expensive.
What the hell's a
continue.
minstrel? Wait, what's a minstrel? I'm too American for this. What's a minstrel?
You don't know
Oh,
what minstrel is?
No,
I'm
what's a
sad.
minstrel?
I'm sad now. You need to be enlightened.
They're like the best chocolate ever. They're like
Yeah.
the best theater/movie chocolate ever.
Basically,
Is it
yeah.
just chocolate?
It's chocolate in like a
Galaxy.
hardened candy shell.
Yeah.
Those like M&Ms?
Kinda.
So they're like really posh M&Ms?
Yes.
Yes.
Less
They're
impressed.
posh, luxurious, tasty M&Ms.
I mean,
Sean?
goobers are the thing to get here.
Should be noted. Julian, Miss Thistle sits next to you. Marcus. What was I getting? Get the face claim up. Oh. I can't find them. Where they gone? This individual just happens to take a seat next to you. She looks... Well, she's very large. She has tattoos running down her arms. She is not particularly well dressed. She is dressed as she is in the overlay, just a vest. Well-turned, muscular, looks like she could probably knock her teeth out. She just sort of crosses her legs and crosses her arms and looks bored. Like she's kind of here out of some sort of obligation.
Who's she sitting next to?
Marcus.
Oh, right.
Marcus will notice and, of course, give her a polite nod. Good evening.
Yeah. Hey.
He will offer her a packet of gum.
I can't eat that.
Well, you're supposed to just chew on it and then throw it out, but fair enough.
On the other side of you, this gentleman will sit.
Holy crap, you're sitting next to an anime protagonist.
I'm
all
dead.
downhill
I'm
from
so
here.
dead. I don't have colourful hair.
Nothing personal, kid. No, he just says, hey, long time no see.
Does Marcus recognize the fellow?
Yes, Bowwater, that's your bro. This guy helped you out.
Ah, okay, just to double check. Oh, hi, Bowwater. Glad to see you're fine.
Yep, not dead, not a... Well, not dead, not a puppet, not torpid. Things considered pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, I'm still alive, so... Well, unlive. Anyway. Yeah, other things have been taking my attention. Fucking owls. Anyway, I hope our mutual acquaintance is doing well.
Yeah, she's doing alright. By the way, did you bring your sword with you?
Yeah, just in case.
The only reason you're allowed to carry it in the Elysium is because the Keeper knows where it comes from.
I know. It is the exception that proves the rule. He
Pretty
smiles.
much, yeah. But yeah, she would have allowed you to take it in. But what it does remark, it's a cool fucking sword.
Seriously, Some nights I wake up and think that I've woken up in a film co-directed by Stephen King and Anne Rice. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's like that for the first couple of years.
However, it is not. Oh, sorry. Continue.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Mind you, it's nice not to have any aches and pains anymore. Definitely an upside. Frankly, I feel as spry as if I were a 20-year-old, believe it or not.
That's kind of how the whole shindig works. But yeah, one upside. So at this point, the host walks onto the stage. He goes on to thank everybody for coming. In spite of the chaos of last evening, he is immensely grateful that everybody has deigned to show up on this final Elysium. Show of unity in the face of crisis, how we're all stronger together as one culture is one movement of the many cultures and many faiths.
Nikolai is back just in time to take a seat. I'm assuming I'm not being arrested.
You're not being arrested.
Cool.
So tempted to heckle that there is only one faith.
Hail Raptor Jesus.
Yes, bloody vampire raptor Jesus.
We can all get behind that.
Yes, he begins to he talks about the many, one movement of many cultures, many faiths, how the city is coming together. It is a glorious sight, and all of you are glorious people.
What is this hippie bullshit?
How you're all honorable people and honest people, and how such honor will lead to them triumphing in the end, and how, even in spite of crisis, such elegant honor and honesty has led to this magnificent final performance. I'm actually going to have him make an expression roll. It's something he's very good at. Almost rolled in Sales by Midnight. I'm out.
I mean, it's fine. He could be a vampire if he wants.
He's actually well dressed for the event, so he gets additional dice. Oh, it's an exceptional success. 4 successes. So he is an eloquent spokesman, unlike VST. He just cliffs noted the guy. Which
This is still some hippie bullshit.
you definitely get a sense he's embellishing. But the stage will open, and for Miss Eilena's wires. And I'm going to have her roll. She'll just bow. She doesn't say anything. She'll just begin to play music.
I would laugh if you failed.
She's actually playing an incredibly hard violin piece. Like, the Yeah, like 6 capricious or something. Like something hilariously difficult. I'm gonna have it roll. Just gonna double check, see if she gets any bonuses from equipment. No, 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 no. No. There we go. Oh wait, no, I overrolled that. An exceptional success. She plays flawlessly. It is beautiful to listen to. It is, even if it is not your genre, it is somewhat, it is an enjoyable listen. Every note, every beat is hit flawlessly. There are creative changes that mix up the pace of the music. The piece goes on for a while. It goes on in, it is not a short piece. There is, an accompaniment to add, but the skill and level to which Eilina plays is far beyond anyone in the accompaniment. They're not even close. There's not even a contest. This performance sticks out in your mind. You'll probably remember it for years. It is that impressive. And the music will end. Does anybody do anything while the music is playing?
Gonna kind of watch people.
Okay. Anybody take the moment to maybe sneak around?
Sure.
Well, watch for people sneaking around.
Listening to the music and being completely enraptured by it.
Gonna be watching his side. Curious how she's going to respond to this.
She's impressed that she commands the crowd without a single use of her disciplines.
That is a understandable response from her.
I'm going to see if there's any sneak around and see if anyone's using this whole musical for a cover for a secret meeting.
I think both myself and Terry are going to oppose that check by trying to see them.
Yep.
Alright, so Joshua and Isabella roll with composure. Nikolai, you roll your...
Actually, you were asking what people are going to do, because question, I don't assume Joshua as an Archon had to disarm, did he?
No.
Mm-hmm. In that case, what he's actually going to do, because it seems to me like it would be his job, whilst he'll kind of squeeze Isabella's shoulder. But he's actually going to stand up. He's going to walk. He's not going to sneak. He's just going to walk around patrolling the corridors during the performance, because he's basically acting like security because he feels like he should.
Fair enough. In which case, it's just the wits plus composure roll from both Joshua and Isabella, and a Dex plus stealth from Nikolai.
Yep, I rolled it. I got 3 successes. Not that good of a roll.
Well, that's 3 successes is good when 8's the difficulty.
Nope.
Nope.
My cats are sneaky bastards.
Apparently.
You catch wind of a conversation between the prince and this woman.
I'm going to move a little away and use my laser microphone so I can get a better hearing of it. Because someone went to a spy store.
Yeah. I will PM you.
The conversation.
Mm-hmm. 1 moment,
Cool.
please.
Ooh.
There you go. So you get that, Nikolai?
All right. Well, in that case, time to throw a wrench in this plan. Who's the sire again?
It is.
The host, the keeper.
No, it is. 1 second, let me get it for you. It is. Melandra Silverson.
Right. Can I find her?
She's in a box seat.
Can I get up to the box seat and knock on her door?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to politely write down this note for her. I'll send it.
Oh my. The music is lovely, everybody. It's great.
Yep.
Top tier. Totally not dead silence.
Hmm?
Meanwhile, Josh just like, a fellow rival
Huh?
to my celebritydom.
Oh. Bitch, I still have more followers on Instagram.
Does Instagram exist yet?
Oh, wait, what year are we in again?
Oh,
2010.
2010. Yeah, that should be a thing.
Twitter is.
Hmm.
You got more Twitter.
Okay,
followers.
I have more Twitter followers.
Many happy birds. No apologies,
Also,
shall we?
it's fine. I sense that, you know how we like to think that eventually we'll have an Elysium where nothing blows up? I sense something's about to blow up. Bishop, why are my explosion senses tingling?
I mean, you have thief and sorcery. That's like Spider-Man, right?
I mean, that's how magic works, right?
So I'm going to slip this note under her, knock and slip this door note under her door. Then back off.
Okay. Within seconds of you rounding the corner, the door's going to open.
Yep. And I'm just going to watch and let this play out.
Oh, why did I say I was patrolling the corridors? Why is my life sad?
Yep, you're going to see the Primogen heading down the corridor. Or around the concert hall. Quite quickly, with haste. She's not waiting. She's not running, but she's walking.
Was the music not to your liking, Primogen?
As she walks by, she says, "Oh no, it was quite spectacular."
Joshua's not going to follow her per se, but he's going to kind of lazily do his patrol route so that he's going in the same direction. You know what I mean? Inadvertent following.
You follow her. She notices, but you're not really keeping it that much of a secret.
He's also not like, for the record, he'll do things like he'll put his head through other doors just to check on things. Like, it's not clear that he's just following her, if that makes sense.
Yeah. She's heading backstage.
Can I do what the equivalent of perception empathy is on her?
Sure, wits empathy.
I sense this is worth spending another willpower for. Yeah. I have a success.
Yeah, she clearly has a sense of urgency. You're not sure what from, just because your surroundings don't really tell you that. It's not apparent, but she is moving with purpose. She has something. She has something she needs to do. You don't necessarily detect malintent. It's not like she's walking angrily. Although her body language is very guarded and aggressive. And she heads around backstage, and she just seems to be looking around somewhat erratically.
Is there something? Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Is there something I can help you with, Primogen? You seem flustered.
Keep an eye on the stage.
The stage? Is he like?
Stay vigilant.
Well, they're all doing this. Can I try to see if there's any underneath to the stage? Like, a way. Like, you know how most stages have an underground area underneath them?
Yeah.
So basically, Bishop, whilst you contemplate the stage's undercroft, Joshua's just going to kind of shrug, and he's going to go and stand in the wings of the stage, so that he's basically, he can see out of the stage, but they can't see him. So where the actors would go before they walk onto the stage, basically.
Okay. Do you want to make me a quick wits plus composure roll, because you're in a position to see this and other people aren't?
Oh Christ! I'm gonna get shot. Because of course Joshua would do his thing of blinking out and trying to save the poor unfortunate fucktard.
She's lovely.
I mean, I'm sure that she is. Ooh, sorry, that was wrong. I have to tell it to roll the dice first. 2 of the successes.
Okay.
Is he? You know how you carry a med pack? Might be med pack time.
I'm helping.
Actually, do I see him? If they're down by the stage, do I see them down there?
backstage. So I think there's like you have to go around the back and kind of go up the back of the stage if it's a proper stage. So unless you can see us in the wings, which you might be able to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's a box seat, a lot of times you can kind of see back there from there.
Okay. So you can see the rafters from where you are.
Oh bollocks! It is infinite sadness. Yes, continue.
There are 4 individuals up there.
With guns.
You don't recognize them, no. From the looks of it, they have knives and fire axes between them. It looks like they're just about to drop a massive steel girder from the rafters onto the violinist, onto the accompaniment in general.
All right. Hey, Bishop. When I see the fact that it's going to fall, let's spend a point of blood for celerity.
Okay.
And if necessary, I hate being a fucking martyr. Kill me now.
So you have 2 options.
Mhm.
It's not quite cut yet. You can jump up and try and interfere with it before they cut it. Or you can try and use the powers of the blood now to save the violinist, but you won't be able to save the entire accompaniment.
Joshua will kind of okay. The issue is if he has to engage 4 people, he probably can't win. Also, he's only got a sword physically on his person, and even if he does jump up there, the chances are they may still be able to drop the girder. So he's going to basically do the thing of he is going to basically spend the point of blood, and he is going to celerity body check the girl off the stage. If he gets hit by the girder, so be it, but he's going to prioritize getting her to safety.
Okay. You Alright. The performance finishes. All the kindred in the room begin to clap. It was an exceptional success. It was a fabulous, world-ending performance.
Standing ovation.
Standing ovation. Really is. As Eilina goes to bow, everybody sees in a blur the vague form of Baneforth tackle her off the stage.
Bloody hell. And Goodable will stand up, like already trying to start to move.
As soon as I see that, I'm gonna run down towards there.
As everybody gets up and is like, what the hell, that's still, everybody sees the steel girder fall just about a second after Joshua catches her. The Primogen manages to catch it, but at a very poor angle. It collides with much of the accompaniment. They scream. Some scatter, others that are hit are just crushed beneath the girder. The Primogen is strong. She holds onto it, but she can only cushion the impact so much. Many of them are in horrible, dire straits. Some of them just fall through the undercroft of the stage. Others are just kind of dangling from the massive hole the girders left. Some are dragging themselves away with clearly broken limbs, screaming and crying out in pain. The keeper flies up immediately, wings sprout from her, She assists in the moving of the girder and begins to immediately fly up to the rafters.
So I'm gonna use parkour to like jump down. Because I have cat leap. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna go and like try pulling people out and like because I do have a med kit.
roll me wits medicine to see if you can help these people.
Sure.
Are these ghouls or are these kindred?
Just people.
Oh,
I'm gonna burn a willpower on it. Where is the thing?
Is it a fair statement that if Joshua hadn't intervened, that girl would have been pulped?
She'd probably be torpid. You don't really know the measure of her power, but she's quite young, so you don't think she would have been able to take that with any degree of grace. Granted, you don't think you would have either.
2
Nope.
successes.
Okay. Not an exceptional, but it is a success, and you get 2. So, you begin pulling people out, you begin examining some of them. You quickly begin prioritizing people that need the most treatment, that need more serious treatment. Some of these people are okay. Some of the bones you're able to set and stem bleeding and put into a recovery position. And a lot of them think you're going to make it, but a few of them need hospital treatment right now. There is at least one with a broken back. This is bad.
Yeah. I'm gonna yell at somebody to call an ambulance. Somebody.
Yeah,
They haven't figured that out yet.
You'll hear a male middle-aged voice just shouting out, "Already on it," and Marcus will proceed closer to the exit of the building and call an ambulance and try as calmly as possible to describe what happened. Minus the supernatural parts, of course.
Okay.
I'm also gonna like if there's just kind of people milling about that don't seem like they know what to do, I'm gonna start telling them to like do things.
Roll me your presence plus persuasion.
Sure.
Plus
I don't know if I
dice.
have any of those things.
Oh dear.
Let's see.
I'm gonna double check now.
I sure don't.
Oh dear. Well, you have an unskilled.
Oh, I do have
check.
persuasion. I'll
Okay,
do
you
a
don't
full
get
point of
unskilled
willpower on it.
Yay.
I do have a point. Alright, so I'll use willpower on that too.
Okay. Keep track of your willpower.
Yep.
Oh man, you're really fast.
3 successes. How am I better at that? Yeah, basically I'm just,
a few
here,
ghouls.
you hold this in place, you do this, and just like kind of help getting people that seem like they're mildly competent to help me triage.
A few ghouls. Mainly ghouls, but even a couple of kindred, including the Nosferatu from earlier, Miss Marks, actually begins helping you.
For the record, because of what he thinks, so Joshua will have scooped up the girl in his arms. Even if she protests, he'll happily deal with it. And essentially what he does is he is going to bring her, he's going to hop up onto the stage. He'll even hop, celerity hop, or potence hop. And he is going to bring her backstage into one of the dressing rooms. And he is going to basically... He's not going to barricade the door because that's too melodramatic, but he is going to stand in front of the door, and let's put it like this. Unless he knows who you are, unless you're her sire or somebody who can tell him to stand down, you're not coming through this door, because he basically sees what happened as an attempted assassination. So Joshua angry, Joshua protect.
Her sire is the first to approach. I assume you let her in.
Yes. She come in.
She almost completely ignores you and goes for her child and sees to check if she's okay, and her child is in a sort of, not shock, but is still processing the situation. Everything happened very quickly and she seems unused to that. When she's done checking on her, she says, "I'm in your debt, Archon. You just saved my child from torpor."
Which Primogen is she?
She's a Primogen in the Invictus.
He nods and he says, I'm curious. You knew this was going to happen. How?
I received a note.
May I see it? I'm now saying this because he will say, I'm now saying this because a crime has been attempted to take place. So I'm saying this to you as an Archon, not as Joshua, if that makes sense.
She will show you the note, but she won't give it to you. She seems very guarded.
He looks at it. I was going to say, do you want to just read me what Nikolai wrote on the note? Or send it to me? I don't care.
Just a warning. The performance is going to end poorly. Someone is plotting to humiliate you, your child, the Keeper, and the Primogen. Signed, the Watcher.
That's a terrible name.
I mean, it's an alias. It doesn't
No.
matter. Like,
Give me a break. I was on the spot and I'm reading Marvel back here.
No, his response after reading it was, that's a terrible pen name.
whatever the case, someone conspired to attack my child in this Elysium to drive a wedge between me and the Keeper. I need to tend to my child. I'll be back shortly, but I will remember this. And I'll be in touch. I will not allow anyone to ever come close to harming my child like this again.
Understood.
Next time, they will die.
As you say, Primogen. See to your child. She appears to be all right if shaken. He'll stand out of their way so they can leave via the door.
How does everybody else react to this scene? We have Isabella, we have Joshua, we have Nikolai. Oh, Marcus and Julian. Actually, something to note, Isabella.
Mm-hmm.
What might be a slight surprise to you. This gentleman actually begins to aid you as well. Quite directly.
All right.
But yes, he's not as skilled medically as you, but he follows your lead and he's much stronger. He helps in getting people out. Once he's done that, he'll tell you he's going to see to the emergency services.
Sounds good.
Because, well...
Have I met him before? I know I've seen him. I don't know if I've actually met him.
He's the speaker for the Carthians. He's literally their leader.
Gotcha.
That's as close as you can get to a supreme leader in the Carthians, I guess.
Would you go so far as to say the Führer?
No, but if you tell him that, I mean, you did imply that once and he lost his shit at you, so, you know. That's, yeah.
Let's not piss off the people that are being helpful.
Yeah, Marcus will be coming back and saying, okay, the ambulance is called. They're on their way. How can I help?
Did you see what happened to the guys that did this?
No. I shall go and check up.
Hmm.
And I'd like to do an investigation roll and see if I can find any signs where they might have gone. See, escape paths, shit like that.
I think because the scene has gone on for 2 hours and 21 minutes,
No problem.
I will end the scene there. However, there are a few of you who are in a position to hunt down those who caused this, and well, the keeper is already on them. So we'll end the scene there. This will be the rather climatic finale to our Elysium. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, watching. Thank you for being patient with me in times of the cold silence. And we'll see you all next time. Bye bye.